Hi and welcome to the channel. As makers, sooner or later we have to solder some wires together, and to do that we need soldering flux. Today we're making our own soldering flux. Why? First, it is a very nice procedure. Second, it will last you a lifetime, and the third reason is our soldering here starts with a walk in the woods. I told you we're starting in the woods, so what we need is pine resin, and that's a fantastic opportunity to go out there with friends, family, kids. And you know, it's one thing just to go through the woods and another thing to have a mission for the kids. So we harvested pine resin, and this is what we need to go on. We had a nice harvest here, as you can see, and I have to get rid of all the unwanted parts like tree bark and little spiders and stuff like that. And there are two methods out there. I tried both for you, just, to confirm what works best. And the first thing is that I put everything in a very, very special filter bag here and cooked it. Through the heat, the resin gets liquefied, walks through the mesh of the filter bag, and then swims up on the water. And that kind of worked, but it wasn't very effective. So a long time cooking and only a small portion of the resin was on top. So maybe you can cook it longer, I don't know, but that was not very convincing. So I tried method number 2. My second method here is to use alcohol. It turns out it's not only useful for people, pine resin dissolves in it as well. So I simply mixed the alcohol with the raw resin, bark and all, and let it sit for a day. Then I filtered it roughly through a mosquito net and afterwards through coffee filters. And that leaves me with a beautiful, clear amber liquid. And now physics starts to work in our favor. In the end, what we want is the rosin for soldering flux. So we need to remove two things from the solution. First, the alcohol, and second, the turpentine oils. I do this in 2 heating steps. First, I bring it to about 82 degrees Celsius so that the alcohol can boil off. Since the vapors are flammable, I really recommend not using an open flame for that. Instead, I use here a modified cloth iron. I change the handle in the way that it can sit upside down, which basically turns it into a small hot plate. The nice thing about that, it won't get much hotter than 120-ish degrees. So perfect, safe cooking for alcohol. Once the alcohol is gone, and you can see that if you do not have much vapors anymore, I switch to a gas stove and heat the mixture to over 170 degrees to drive off the turpentine oils. At first it foams quite a bit, but when the foam disappears, the turpentine has mostly evaporated and what's left is the rosin. This 2-step approach has another advantage. You can tell what's happening even without a thermometer. So if you cook out the alcohol and it stops steaming, you know it's time for the next step. So then you see, okay, it's foamy, then you can stop. And so you do not need to measure the temperature of the liquid. You can just see what is happening. Alright, so here we started with our pine resin with bark and dirt, and then we ended up with this beautiful, I zoom in a little bit, with this beautiful clear amber colored rosin. And you see here it melts and smells like it should, and here is a piece of tin that has no flux in it, so yeah, even that works pretty nice. Let's solder, or let's make some tin on a wire here. So very nice. So there we are. Beautiful. So I hope you can see that, and you see that it's brittle as it should be, no stickiness. Really nice flux we have here now. And yeah, I hope you liked that video. Give me a thumbs up if so, leave me some comments, and I see you next time around here, guys. Happy crafting.